All right, so welcome to the Astronomy Club meeting. Thank you all for being here. It's like the normal meeting size just doubled today, which is great. So we have suddenly a lot of things happening, most of them in March. So I'm going to go through these, but then if you guys have any questions, we can go back because there's a lot of stuff. So as far as outreach activities, star parties, etc., March is going to be busy, apparently. We have a regular star party at Sabino Canyon on March 3rd. That's not going to change. But we have two requests for the club to do star parties. One is for Manzanita Elementary School, which is up in the foothills, but from here it should actually be a pretty straight shot. And that's on March 8th from 5:30 to 8. By the way, there's a calendar, a couple slides from here, in case you're all diving for your planners. So I did. I had a calendar open the whole time I was making this presentation. So March 8th from 5:30 to 8. It's a science night at Manzanita, so I said we could definitely bring some telescopes, and we may do some, like we might bring the scale models and have those inside as well. I mean, we could easily do them outside, but depending on how many people want to go, we could do that inside. March 8th is a Thursday night, by the way. The other request is Camp Wildcat. Camp Wildcat is it's a program for at-risk elementary and I believe also middle school students, and it's run by U of A students. They take these kids and take them on camping trips and generally promote college as an attainable goal. They're having an on-campus weekend, March 2nd through 4th, and they'd like us to do a star party on the Saturday evening, which is March 3rd. We have the Sabino Canyon party scheduled, and I don't want to cancel it, but I also really want to do Camp Wildcat. I think it would be a great thing to do, and we have done this with them in the past. So CT and Mandy have committed to go to the Camp Wildcat Star Party. I have not committed either way, but I can commit to go to Sabino Canyon. So what I'd like is for everyone to just decide which one they want to go to, and hopefully it'll be about half and half, and we'll stick to that so we don't have excess people at one. Yes?
Do you have enough telescopes?
We do, because I have a telescope I can bring. CT has a telescope he can bring.
I have a telescope I can bring.
Many people in the room. Awesome. I was thinking whoever brings their own telescope stays with their own telescope, just because I don't know about your guys's, but mine is kind of finicky. So just in case something goes wrong. I'm also going, I asked the person at Camp Wildcat if she wanted us to ask about using the 21-inch. She hasn't got back to me about that, but we might do 21-inch and like smaller telescopes. But since CT and Mandy are both operators, it shouldn't be a problem. So in a minute, I'm going to pass around a sign-up sheet for both of, for all three of these events. I'd appreciate it if we could have about half and half at Camp Wildcat and Sabino Canyon. Just because I don't want to give one star party the short end of the stick. So, star parties continued. NOAO has two events they need help with. Carmen emailed me this morning. And this wouldn't be, well, the second one might end up being an official Astro Club event, but generally this would be more like you're going to go help out at NOAO. There's one on March 1st, and NOAO has a few people who can go to that, but they need more, and 2 people would be great. We can do telescope activities if we have enough people, but it's mostly activities, planet bottles, I think she said, and a couple others. So I'll pass around a sign-up sheet for that, and I will give you all Carmen's email so you can get in touch with her if you're interested. And Law for Middle School on Thursday the 20th. This one might end up being an Astro Club event, but I won't swear to it yet, because they didn't contact us, they contacted NOAO. So right now they need at least 4 people. When I say the dark sky activities will require training, it's a dark sky star party, so they're teaching the kids about dark skies and why they matter and how we can make them happen. And there are a bunch of activities that go along with that. Carmen says that her boss probably would want her to, quote unquote, train people who did that, except that because we're all Astro Club folks, we probably know everything they're doing anyway. She would just need to go over the activities with us to make sure. But it's not an extensive thing. So I'll send around sign-up sheets for all of those, and those of you who are interested in NOAO, I will give you Carmen's email address. I'll contact her as well, but I'll give you Carmen's email address so you all can be in direct touch. She didn't tell me. I'm going to check my email at the end of the meeting and see if she's got back to me on that. I'm going to go with evening. Yes. Thursday the 1st, yes, there would be a radio project meeting. So here's the calendar in case any of you are wondering. March 1st is a Thursday, the 20th is a Tuesday, the 3rd is a Saturday, and the 8th is a Thursday as well. And yes, spring break is the 10th through the 18th. So for those of us who live here and or don't have lives, the radio project has an observing run for all of spring break. So whatever you consider doing, if you're in the radio project, take that into account. And, you know, I assume it for the radio project, you know, whoever wants to go up to Cape Peak can go up for as long as they want, but some of us might be up there for quite a while, so especially if those of you who have families want to go home and like visit them or something. Next order of business is the Bad Sci-Fi Movie Night. This Friday at 5:30, food will not be served because it's a short movie. If we start exactly at 5:30, you'll be out by 7.
It feels a lot longer than it is.
It feels so much longer. I got half an hour into it, and I was like, wait, I'm half an hour into it? Oh, my God. So, Steward N450 should be large enough for all of us. If it turns out a ton of people want to come, I'll see if I can move it someplace larger. I watched the movie this weekend because I'd heard that it was... Lindsay has it, and she said that it was worse than she remembered, so I watched it to make sure none of us would actually kill ourselves to make the movie end. It's standard sci-fi channel creature horror. It's not terribly bad. Well, I mean, it's horrible, but it's not so painful that you can't... It's... Actually, I was watching the previews on this disc, and the previews are for other sci-fi channel creature horror, and there's one in which it's like Dino Croc versus Super Gator or something. It's like the one gene splicing experiment escaped, so they release the other one because they're mortal enemies, so they'll fight it out. I was like, nothing can go wrong with that.
Did they receive gene splicing in cells when they were children?
That's like when there's a big earthquake, you send a nuke there to make it...
Yes.
Fight Godzilla. You have to send another monster to fight Godzilla.
Yes, so you have the crocodile crossed with the dinosaur, and then you have the like alligator on steroids, and no,
Okay.
There's no such thing as a point of order for bad sci-fi. Although, point of order, next month, the 3rd Friday of the month is in the middle of spring break, and as previously mentioned, either people aren't going to be here or people who are in town are going to be up on Cape Peak, probably. So I was planning on just moving that next month it's classic sci-fi. We'll be watching The Wrath of Khan. But I was planning on just moving that to the evening of the 23rd, unless...
That could be tough, because that next day we're doing...
I know, but I'm not sure about Well, it's between the 9th and the 23rd. Can I have a show of hands for who can't go on the 9th? And who can't go on the 9th? Okay. And who can't go on the 23rd? A lot of hand waving. Okay. Well, the good thing about this is that it's not urgent, but I want to start thinking about this since we will need to move it. And that is, aside from astronomy days and nights, that's the only, that's all of the upcoming event business. We're working on a sport for the next Friday. Although it might just be Frisbee again. And if we hold another Frisbee day, you all should come, instead of saying you're going to come and then not.
Or showing up and then leaving.
Showing up and then leaving.
My range of priority.
Who am I going to glare at? Half the room, I think.
Don't glare at me, I can't play, so.
Anyway, last week ended up being kind of a hell week for a lot of people, and I completely understand, but let's try and get this happening again. All right, so I'm going to start passing around sign-up sheets. The next order of business really is the t-shirts. I will throw something at you over there in the corner. Hi. Okay, the next order of business is the t-shirts. Since I want to actually get moving on this, I'm going to give a deadline, which I neglected to give for the last 2 weeks, for the logo submissions. I would like you to email me a picture or the design, like if you do it in Paint or something, the design itself by the meeting next Monday. I would like to hold a vote. I'll probably hold a vote online or over email since not everyone can make the meeting. But I'd like to be voting next week so that we can put in orders as soon as possible. So I know Lindsay has a design, Carmen sent me a design. If anybody else has a design for logos, both a casual logo and a more professional logo, send it to me by next week's meeting, and we will post all of them and start voting. Also, something to keep in mind for the more professional design, we want to put it on the polos. We also hope to use it for business cards, etc. So keep in mind the geography of a business card if you're designing a more professional logo, just so that it's about yay big and twice as long as it is wide. I mean, it's
About business card size.
about business card sized and shaped, kind of rectangular. Yeah, well, it just the current Astro Club logo isn't the greatest for a business card because it would take up like the whole top. That's why. Astronomy days and nights, the weekly slide. You should all participate. It's 11 to 9, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Biosphere 2. We still want it to be a huge event. Meetings are still at 5 p.m. on Wednesdays. Talk to Katie if you're interested. Come to the meetings. Is there any news? All right. Well, we're going to keep planning this. And keep this in mind for the movie night and for everything else that's going on in March. Oh, and I'm an idiot. So, I'm going to go back to the calendar for a sec. I finally heard back from Katie Garmany about star parties at the Tohono O'odham Reservation. She said she has a request from the school in Cells for either the 23rd or the 30th of March. I told her that the 30th would probably win out because we do have astronomy days and nights the next morning. And Cells is, it's like driving out to Kitt Peak, but that's kind of a drive if we're going to go there and do a star party and then come back. So between the 23rd and the 30th, who votes for the 23rd of people who can go? And who would prefer the 30th? All right, 30th wins. So I'll email her back and let her know. And when I pass out this ridiculous number of sign-up sheets, sign up if you can go to that. All right. Projects are ongoing. Exoplanet is Mondays at 5:30. If you're interested, please go. if you committed to help out with the project this semester, please go. We want to submit a paper for publication by March 23rd. Binocular telescope project is apparently meeting Mondays at 1 p.m., which, as far as I know, was kind of an arbitrary decision, but there you have it. Outreach materials Wednesdays at 5, and radio project Thursdays at 5:05 p.m. and 5:05. And for those of you who are part of the radio project, remember we have some observing runs coming up, so we need to attend the meetings, and so we can get a concrete plan for that. Membership, $10 a semester. CT isn't here today, but if you have your dues, please pay me, and I'll mark off that you've got them. And I'm lame. There's no research presentation today, but I promise I will email people this week about that, and we'll get some more research presentations up. And next order of business is astronomy question of the week, which will start as soon as I go fetch John McCarthy. So does anybody else have anything they want to bring up? Any questions about anything?
Oh, it was just about the sign sheets. How many sheets are you passing out,
I will pass out one for the NOAO star parties, one for the Tohono O'odham star party, one for Manzanita Elementary, and one for Sabino and Camp Wildcat. Those will be on the same sign-up sheet so that we all remember that they conflict. Probably one side and the other side. I'll make these up and pass them around and then go get Dawn. So, all right, I think that's it.